Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites, alright? And we come and tell you the truth out of the Bible, alright? So I like to say, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, and double honors to the elders, and shalom to all the brothers that's out there, alright? You know, because the time that we're living in is like a great time, you know, because the scriptures say, blessed is the man that see the downfall of his enemy, alright? So the elect of the Most High is those blessed men that's going to see the downfall of Esau, because we living in a time of his downfall. When you hear the end of the world, it don't mean that the world's going to stop spinning on its axis, alright? Everybody's going to die. Nah, you know, it means the end of the age, like the elders brought out, like the elders brought out, is the end of the age or end of rulership. All right, when the end of this world or Esau's world, all right, or the end of Esau's rulership, all right, the nation of Israel is going to rise. Read it.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Yeah, so is when you hear the end of the world, all right, according to that scripture, it's talking about the end of the rulership, all right? Pharaoh, he went down. Egyptians, they went down. Before them, it was the Babylonians. Nimrod, he went down. He tried to build the Tower of Babel. He went down, all right? Then they had the Persians and the Medes, and they had the Greeks, they had the Romans. Now we in the third legs of the Roman Empire now, which they about to go down. Read it.
This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 10 verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings,
Esau is that unrighteous dealer. Esau works with bribes, robberies, and deceit. You know? Yeah.
Injuries,
he injured the nation of Israel. Alright? First of all, he took our nationality, he hung us. He perpetuated homosexuality, lesbianism, pork, Israelites eating pork. Alright? That's what he did. He's the one that perpetuated this on the planet Earth. Because he's in rulership. But via his media, television, alright? Even the vibrations that he put out there. Yeah.
And riches got by deceit.
And riches got by deceit, because he robbed the Native Americans and told them he's bringing peace. But what? He brought a sword. Alright? He didn't come and, you know, kept his word. No. He broke his word. Yeah.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, that's why power is never done away with, lost. It's just transferred. Alright? Power is never lost, it's transferred. Alright? So Esau, we living in a time where Esau is gonna go down. Alright? And where we got that knowledge from through the Most High and the Son is through the elders at GMS that taught us that.
We might have to edify Jake, you know, them hard-headed Israelites and Negroes, West Indian Puerto Ricans, as to who Esau is.
Esau is the so-called white man, or the white boys and crackers that you see walking up and down. And I'm gonna say this too, like the elders been breaking down. All right, just because somebody look black, that don't mean they're black. It could be a tear. Just because somebody look white, that don't mean that person is actually white. That's what I'm saying. We just say that because people don't understand nothing. They can't get that deep. If you try to go that deep, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna get all fucked up in the head. Alright? You got a scripture?
Well, I was on something you was talking about.
Alright, get Job 9 and 24. Like I was saying.
Alright, I get it.
No, read your scripture. You got a piece of reading.
Yeah, but you was talking about, you know, Esau, you know, being wicked and basically multiplying his wickedness. You know, this is in the first Maccabees chapter 1. Verse 9, you know, talking about Alexander, right? And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Yeah, it's talking about when Alexander the fake, or what the hell is call him?
Alexander
the creep. Alexander the creep freak. When he died of syphilis because he was popping his genitals. Other men put on crowns. The people that he grew up with, his friends that he grew up with, put crowns on their head. And what it say?
Right. So did their sons after them, many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Yeah, so they say civilization began with the Greeks. No, civilization ended with the Greeks. All right, because what? The Greeks are wicked. All right, so civilization didn't begin with them. Homosexuality, as we know it, began with them, because we know the fucking Africans was the first ones with that homosexuality shit.
Right. Can I say something?
Yeah.
The Greeks, they get all their customs, and the Romans, they get all their customs from where? The ancient Babylonian Empire, which the ancient Babylonians or Hamites, like the brother was going into. All right. So yeah, those are Africans. So that's where they get their cultures from. You see, they get it from the Africans. That's why they're faggots, you know, and so on and so forth, because they get it from the Africans, like the brother's going into.
Yeah. So evils multiplied when so-called white people came on the earth, because what? It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go about lying as soon as they be born. They're aliens, they're strangers. Alright? They strange to the Most High. The Most High don't know them. Alright? Read that again.
Okay. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Yeah, evil was multiplied on the earth. Alright, so it became wicked. Alright? Why it became evil? Because what? They wasn't following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. They was going about with their own understanding and going against all the laws in the Bible. Alright? Read it again. If you had a precept?
No, I was going to say something.
Yeah, say it.
Actually, and then I was going to bring out this precept.
Alright, yeah, say it. Yeah, say it.
Plus, you know, and it goes back to that scripture, you know, Job 9:24, because at that time the Greeks was in rulership, you know, and all types of wickedness that, like the scriptures say, multiplied in the earth. You know, they made Israel go off in all types of ways. But I'm about to get Job 9:24.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, Job 9:24.
All right, this is Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right. So the Most High gave rulership onto the so-called white man, because he's the wicked. Because in the process of elimination, he's the one that's in rulership. He's the one that got the power. He's the one that everybody want to be with. Before it was a girl with. Right now, as you speak, it's every culture that's under the earth. All right, they got a tie on and a suit, a monkey suit. You can go down to Iran, even though that Abinadab, he's supposed to be an Iranian. He's not dressing like an Iranian. He's dressing like a corporate American or a fucking white man or a white boy. He got to tie the obelisk around his neck. All right. So everything that the so-called white people do, you got so-called Jake like Chris Brown. He dyed his hair blonde to do what? To look like a so-called white boy. You got a new movie out called The Smurfs. The Smurfettes. She's blue, but she got blonde hair. Yep. You got black women that got fat. Well, they making it, but even white girls right now got big butts. But black girls want to be like white girls. You listen to the way they talk. All right, they sound white. They go to the Esau's institutions. All right, and they sound just like they even worse than the so-called white bitches that's out there. All right, read the scripture.
Yeah, say something. Also, yeah. What's the language? What is the language that you gotta speak in the earth when you're dealing with the so-called white man?
English.
That's English.
That new speak that what the so-called white man created. And all English is offshoot of is either Greek, Latin, or Hebrew. Because all the words that we use is taken from the root word, either Latin, Greek, or Hebrew. Alright, now go back to the scripture.
Alright, again, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
And I said the wicked is the white man, or Esau, alright, and he covers the faces of the judges. And who's the supreme judges on the earth that reign in the heavens? The Most High and His Son. In the Sistine Chapel, they have the Most High's hand reaching down to Moses, and it's white. You have the one that you call Jesus Christ, or we know him as Yahushua, All right, he's a white boy. He's perpetuated all through the earth as a white boy. Other judges, the Israelites.
Just to correct you real quick, brother.
Yeah.
Hand that finger that you were talking about over there in the 16th chapter,
Yeah.
that's reaching down to touch